Okay, so Imples sent us a question asking about prayer and asking, is it necessary to do prayers? How does it fit into practice and so on? So the word prayer is an interesting one. And we have to think about, what connotations that word has for us, and then what it's used to mean in Buddhism. Usually the word prayer has the idea of some external being that you're praying to and asking them for things, right? And most often asking them for things that have to do with this life. May I pass my spelling test or whatever. Remember when you were kids, or, may my family be well, or this kind of thing, So in Buddhism, sometimes the word is mulam in Tibetan is translated as prayer, but mulam doesn't really mean prayer. Mulam is more an aspiration combined with a determination. Okay? So it's kind of like stating our deepest heartfelt aspirations in the presence of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. Okay? So that's one context of mulam. Okay? Another context of it is we do these requests. Yeah, there are many kind of requesting verses. When we, in the Lama Chöpa, when we do it, the whole glance meditation is, please inspire me to understand this, that, and the other thing. Okay? So there, what we're asking the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to please inspire us, or sometimes it's translated as bless us, but bless is one of those English words that I don't know what it means, to tell you the truth. So I don't use it because I don't know what it means. What we're doing with the requesting verses, some people don't like the word prayer, so we use verses or recitations. So the requesting verses are, although they're written in the form, please inspire me to, understand precious human rebirth, or to diminish my self-centeredness, or whatever. It's not that the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do that while we just kind of do our normal thing and wait for them to perform some kind of magical change in us. Although the prayer is written that way, it is an aspiration, determination on our part, So then why do we put it out there? Because we are beings who are very externally oriented, aren't we? We're always looking for something from the outside, even though it all comes from in here. So when we visualize the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and especially seeing the Buddha as the Buddha that we're going to become, our future Buddha, then we're connecting with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that already exist, and with the Buddhas and the Buddha and the Bodhisattva that we're going to become, and stating this very deep aspiration and determination in our own mind, and asking them to please inspire our mind and help us have the conducive circumstances so that we can develop this kind of understanding and realization. Okay? So it's a very skillful way to open our minds and to learn how to develop the proper aspirations in our practice. Okay, are we communicating? Are you getting what I'm saying? Yeah? And so part of our gaining the realizations, a good chunk, most of it is our own effort, but the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas did become Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for a purpose, you know, and that was to benefit us. So it's not like they become, you know, the Buddha becomes enlightened and then drinks tea and doesn't help us. You know, I mean, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are active and they're doing what they can from their side to benefit us. So there's some help coming from the enlightened beings, and that's what we're requesting for. But also, when we're doing the request, like I said, we're connecting with our own future Bodhisattva and Buddha and connecting with them and making that strong aspiration, determination for ourselves. Okay, so that is very helpful in the aspiration prayers like that. Sometimes if somebody is very sick, you know, then we may make prayers that that person have a long life, that they recover, and so on. That's perfectly fine to do that. It's good to dedicate our merit, because a prayer is basically a request. A dedication of merit means that we've done some positive action and we're, you know, using that merit and really putting it in a good direction, you know, mentally, steering it that way. So that dedication is much more powerful than a prayer or a requesting verse like that. But also, you know, we may, like if we're sick or something, so we may pray, may I recover, but we should also have in our mind, may I know how to use the Dharma while I'm sick, so that even if my body doesn't recover, my mind is immersed in practice and immersed in virtue. Okay? So my teachers say, you know, you may make prayers for things to happen in this life, yeah, but remember, you have to create the cause for them to happen, and that part of the inspiration you may receive in, you know, in response to that prayer may not be that what you pray for happens, but that there's a transformation in your mind so that you can deal with the reality of the situation. Okay? So, prayers are, you know, another skillful tool that we can use in our practice. Yeah, they're a skillful tool. And people will use them to more or less extents. Yeah?
Does it matter if we verbally recite prayers as opposed to just reading them and having them in our mind?
Okay, does it matter if you verbally recite them or you know, read them in your mind? I don't think it does much. Sometimes they say verbally saying it out loud makes it stronger because it requires some extra effort. But it also depends on, you know, if there's other people around and, you know, and just how you do it, because some people do it more in a form of an internal meditation too. So, yeah. The point is to try and, you know, concentrate on what we're reciting. And to think about the meaning of it, you know, and not just verbal blah blah. And the reason we recite things that have been written by previous people is because they know they're, you know, that's one way that they're helping us, is showing us the right way to form aspirations. You know, whereas our aspirations usually are, you know, can I have chocolate cake? And, you know, and the great masters is saying, no, it's better to aspire to have an understanding of the 3 jewels of refuge, you know. So that's why we recite things that were written by others. But, you know, we at a certain point can begin to put all of this in our own words and express it to ourselves too. Okay?